Hi, this is a video update, and today we're talking about the Subaru Forester range of cars. Now, this particular model is the car that's been here in Australia for quite some time. It's the 2-litre Liberty Forester GT, which originally come with the 2-litre engine similar to the 9900 model WRX, and in this case the STI. And if you can see this inlet manifold, you'll notice that it's got the leftovers of the red inlet manifold. Unfortunately, it's looking a little bit tired, but the engine is in actually quite good condition. And this particular client, who's owned this car for some time and we've looked after it for some time, has chosen to update his original 2-litre Forester engine with a 2-litre STI engine. And what I'm going to do is read you through some of the modifications and updates that he's done today and explain to you the importance of why some of these things are done the way they are. So hopefully when you're modifying your Forester GT and some of the STI and WRX related models will help you as well. So first of all, we pulled the whole front of the engine off and put a new timing belt on it because we wanted to make sure that was up to date. We checked the tensioners and idlers. Was fitted a alloy pulley kit. Some of the things on the older models, the original factory spark plug leads, because it's got the coil on the top. The later models had the coils on the tops of the spark plugs. These spark plug leads are now starting to give some problems. So if you've got a misfire on your WRX or STI similar year model list, that will be something that you would want to check. So it's got brand new, genuine ones. Really cool thing we fitted is his new front brakes. You notice he's got bigger diameter wheels. He's fitted the gold STI 4-piston calipers on the front with DBA slotted front rotors. And we'll go around the back here. The 2-pot gold ones off the earlier model STIs. This is around 0203 model with the DBA slotted rear rotors as well. And you've got to remember the handbrake mechanism works inside the disc on this particular model, like all Subarus. So when you're changing your disc, you need to be aware of that. This car also, some of these are starting to have problems with the factory knock sensor, which is important from an ignition control knock correction point of view, which is an input to the factory ECU. So it's got a brand new one of those. And the oil pressure switch was poorly in condition, so that's been replaced. But what I wanted to show you here was this particular part here. Let's get my video cameraman to come in close. This silicon intake pipe, which goes around into the STI turbo, right down the bottom here, even though he fitted the engine themselves, it's easily overlooked. Those parts there, where it clamps onto the nose of the compressor housing, on the original factory plastic hose, splits and fails, which results in the engine sucking in unmetered air, because on these models, this part here, you get my camera and get close, is the airflow meter sensor that measures all the air going into the engine. So if you've got a vacuum leak, the engine will run lean, and in his situation, that was damaged. So we put a brand new silicon intake hose on there, which adds a little bit of performance, but the number one thing is the reliability. What else did we do? And finally, the big thing that we did was custom tune it. Now, a lot of people think that you can't tune the factory ECU on the 9900 model WRXs and the STIs, or the Forester GTs. Well, you can if you've got the EcuteK tuning software. Some workshops are a bit scared to touch them. We do a lot of them. The fantastic thing with using the original factory ECU is it's got active knock control, and it's got all the fancy features that Subaru designed with the car, using a lot of the original engine sensors, and it's still relatively cheap compared to an aftermarket alternative ECU. The thing that you've got to remember though, as this client learnt, when you're fitting the 2-litre STI engine, mechanically it will fit, but there are some small changes as a result with compared to the original model. One of the big things is it's got a better quality turbo, it's got different combustion pressure. Obviously the main reason why he fitted it is because he wanted to run more power. That then leads us to the next point, is the original Forester ECU, which can be used to run this engine, has a function within it which limits the amount of grunt of so many grams per second through the load testing, or the load part of the ECU calibration data, which effectively sets an overall limit of how much power you can get. So one thing I want to encourage you, if you're looking at doing an engine conversion with the STI engine, make sure you spend the time of when you get this engine, you get the original factory STI matching ECU, because it will actually fit into the wiring harness but there's just a few wiring pinouts that you have to change at the ECU plug to then make sure that the STI ECU will work on the Forester wiring harness. And then when you get that STI ECU custom tune, you can take advantage of the higher power output of the software in that ECU and generate more grunt. So this particular client got us to remove his Forester ECU. Thankfully he had a good condition working STI ECU. We did all those things, put it on the dyno, did a custom tune, and the result is a fantastic fun car to drive. You can see it's got teen lowered suspension, so the car handles incredibly well. It's got the EDFC adjustable shock controllers on the top, so you can change the shock rate from within the car. And when he picks up this car this afternoon, he's got a big smile on his face because he's now got a car that is both quick, reliable, and gives him the performance that he would love to have with this STI package. So there you have it, STI 2-litre engine in the Forester GT MY00. Upgraded improvements, turbo, combustion pressure, silicon intake pipe. Got one of the original MRT top mount split collectors. This is one of the last of the ones that we did. It's got the split tanks actually. You can get there, Tony, you can see the difference, which keeps, because these have got dual inlets underneath, which makes the intercooler work just that little bit better. And that's about it for today. So follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter and Instagram. As usual, I'll take some still photos of this, link it on this video channel to our Facebook page so you can learn more about the car. Make sure you subscribe so you can get our other updates. But for today, I'm Brett Middleton. No matter where you are in the world, thanks for watching.